Good morning, everyone. My name is Theo, and I'm going to talk about hesitation disfluency in spontaneous speech. Also, the meaning of and ah. Human speech is peppered with ums and ahs, among other signs of hesitation in the planning process. But are these so-called filler or failed pauses intentionally uttered by speakers, or are they side effects of difficulty in the planning process, and how do listeners respond to them? The present paper reviews evidence concerning the production and the comprehension of fillers such as and are in an attempt to determine whether they can said to be words with meanings that are understood by listeners. To conclude, listeners are highly sensitive to hesitation disfluencies in speech. There is little evidence to suggest that they are intentionally produced or should be considered to be words in the conventional sense. When humans communicate, their messages are covered by more than just words they use. They can, for example, use gestures to indicate what a phrase such as this one refers to, or change their tone of voice to show that the assertion that they love linguistic is not to be taken at face value, as well as these additional components of communication. The word of unprepared spoken language are likely to be accompanied by a range of unintentional errors if, for example, a speaker exchanged the one set of two words by perhaps saying "down door" when intending to say "barn door." It is highly unlikely that the exchange is intentional, and the occurrence of accidental speech errors like this may inform us about the nature of speech planning between these two extremes of intentionality are disfluencies, or the false start, repetitions, and hesitations that accompany the word that speaker plan and utter. Averaging across several studies, Fox Tree estimated that approximately 6% of words uttered are affected by some form of disfluencies. These disfluencies may not always be accidental. It has been argued that some type of disfluency should be counted among the tools the speaker has for communicating with the listener. Alongside things such as tone of voice, others, such as false start, may be due to the speaker editing their own speech. Chief among potentially communicative disfluencies are so-called fillers, such as and which mark a hesitation on the part of the speaker. In this paper, investigating the role played by hesitation in human communication with a particular focus on fillers and the communicative goals they may serve. Here are my, Here's my table of contents. First, where do disfluencies such as fillers occur throughout? Next, what are hesitation disfluencies and what is cognitive load? Third, what's the meaning of and are? In the end, I will tell you guys how to reducing his fluencies in spontaneous speech. After all of this, I would like to show you a short video of a short talk between Ryan Reynolds and Jack Gyllenhaal and see how they're using fillers and explain why they are using the fillers. Investigation of where disfluencies such as filler occurs throughout utterance have established that they are more likely to occur before content words, such as low-frequency color names. However, Betty and Butterworth came to a different conclusion when they investigated the distributional properties of disfluencies across a set of recording of two-people conversations. They showed that both low-frequency contents word and those rated as contextual improbable are likely to be preceded by hesitations such as fillers. When the frequency was held constant, contextual probability still predicts these fluencies. Rather than attributing these fluencies to cognitive load, Betty and Butterworth suggest that speaker might be aware of an element of choice in selecting words with low contextual probability, and were more likely to be disfluent of this reason. Now, next, not enough practice. Research also shows do more practice can reducing hesitation disfluencies in your speech, and better preparation can reduce the mood of hesitation very well. Next, what are hesitation disfluencies and what is cognitive load? In spontaneous speech, any form of nonsense pauses are called hesitation disfluencies. One of the most common hesitation disfluencies is fillers, and what is cognitive load? It is a process that you are phrasing your word and thinking about how to pronounce the word and what does it mean. The research shows that there is more likely a filler word throughout after cognitive load. Next, let's move on to the next part. What's the meaning of and Their meaning is no meaning. There are just two different kinds of delay. Is a longer delay and is a brief delay. Although there's no meaning in these two different words. The study shows that people are more likely to memorize the content that comes after and In the field of linguistics, some believe that and means someone is trying to throw out an opinion or phrasing what they are going to say next and lead the listener to the point which the speaker wants to send. Last but not least, how to reduce these fluencies in spontaneous speech. First, as I've mentioned before, practice more. Do enough phrases before your speech can make you more confident and more fluent about it. Next, choice of word. You should choose the word you are familiar with instead of some word that are uncommon and difficult. This can also help you do your speech more fluency because the words in your speech are those you know very well. So there's this chance that you have a cognitive load, which only happens when you are not familiar with the words. Finally, using silent pause. You should get used to using a silent pause. It is one kind of phrasing, and we all need to learn how to use it and when to use it, but not using fillers. Now, I would like to share you a video from YouTube, and let's see how fillers are heard in our daily conversation. We will see how many times and what kind of fillers throughout the speaker in this video. Alright, as you can see here, I've made a small record to count out how many times do the speaker use the fillers and which one is the most frequent. The first one is and it has been used once. The second one is it has been used 10 times. The third one is like, it has been used twice. Next, yeah, it has been used twice. After, it has been used once. The final one is, it has been used once. In my opinion, and yeah, can be considered as the speaker was thinking about what he wants to say and which the word he should use. Like, are more likely throughout when the speaker wants the listener to agree with his opinion and reach consensus. Taken together, the studies have surveyed show that fewer occur and utterance when speakers are uncertain or when they have choice to make. They affect the comprehension process, facilitating understanding and allowing the listener to admit their prediction about what might be said next, or evaluate the speaker's confidence in what they are saying. Also, this evidence is consistent with the view that and are words. Other studies suggest that they do not have such a status. Speaker may produce them automatically when there is a delay to the speech plan, and it may be the case that any plausible interruption to fluent speech will affect listener in the same way as a failure. So this is my presentation today. Thank you for listening.